Hello, Cancers, and welcome back to the Blulady Intuition Tarot channel. I hope that you all are doing well. I am going to get started with the reading. Just remember, this is a general reading, first and foremost, but all readings are for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Take what resonates, leave the rest, don't force it. You'll know once you have that inner vibration going on inside. So let's begin. Twin flame, shot out, heart fog. Okay. Turn. Wow. Ooh, child cancers. Now, what is going on? What is going on? So, first and foremost, um, some of you guys may have in the past bumped into one of your twin flames, right? And you know, this connection is one that transcends times and dimensions. It's almost like this is your second half. And so if, for instance, you were meant to go through life with this particular counterpart, then just in essence, you could understand the situation that would create, right? So I'm definitely picking up a strong connection, right? A one where you are able to be, in one breath, you're able to be vulnerable, but in the other breath, you struggle with vulnerability, is what I'm hearing. Right? So, I mean, it's kind of like something that you may be working on at this time, Cancers, but it's something like to that effect. So, another example is perhaps maybe you like making others happy, but when it's time for others to make you happy, it's something that becomes very uncomfortable for you, right? So it's one of those, it's the opposite, right? That's just what came through. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the opposite, but that's just the tug of war situation that you may have in dealing with your twin flame, right? And so it's really asking you to take a look in the mirror at yourself, right? And really focus in on your heart, because there seems to be like a cloud over your heart with the, you know, heart fog cloud. There may be some things that you may not be viewing correctly. There may be things that you may need to assess a little differently. And so, really just tap in for a minute and determine and get to the bottom of how you feel despite any external and outside like noise, so to speak, right? Because it'll really allow you an opportunity to really hear and feel what it is that you're feeling. That just reminded me of my previous video that I posted, Move in Silence. And that video, you may want to go back and take a look at that reading, right? But it's it's telling you to move in silence at this time. You have to be able to hear your own voice, your own heart voice, and be able to move from your own heart space, right? Absent of anything else, right? Because at the end of the day, it is you that has to answer to your own like self internal consciousness, right? But all right, sorry about that, cancers. My battery had died. Um, so yeah, let's see. The next card I was going to pull was commitment. Bottom of the deck is thinking, missing you. Okay. Oh, shoot. It's just way too much cards, but it's clearly that there's a lot need to be like ventilated, almost is what I'm feeling with all of that coming out. But it is something where some of you may be married, others of you may not be. That may be the road that you're headed to. But with this connection, there is, you're on their mind, is what I would say. You're on their mind, and perhaps they may be on your mind at times too. And that's like perhaps maybe the effect of a twin flame. If you do decide to come together and work together, when things happen that may have the result of putting a halt on things that's between you two, you would find yourself sometimes, catch yourself thinking about them and vice versa, right? So, you know, like I said, just give it time. It's something that won't be like, it won't be done overnight. The depths of it, I'm hearing, it goes very deep. And the importance of time is to allow for that deep dive, right? That's what I'm hearing. Really getting to the surface of who you are, so to speak, so that when you do decide to come up, you would have went through different depths of yourself, right? And that would in turn create awareness and just shining light on certain things. It's like you have to go into the darkness and then return back to the light, is what I'm, getting with that depth card, right? So let me pull from this deck, right? Because it obviously seems as though there is an energy as it pertains to a connection. Um, and it could be a long term connection. It seems as though it's a long term connection, right? It seems as though it's a long term connection. Let's see, what other messages do we have, Spirit? Okay, just make sure I'm still recording. Okay, great. So we have the Five of Cups. We have the we have the Strength card, right? So, I do feel like perhaps some of you may have experienced having maybe like fatigue, tiredness, feeling down, because there was an instance where one of your cups, you had to, it's like, okay, let me rephrase that. You really just had to, I'm seeing grounding for a lot of you, really just give your emotions up to Mother, like the earth. Some of you may have been spending more time outside in nature, but really just allowing nature to absorb some of that pain and that heartache and just those emotions in general from you, whatever it is that you may have experienced, whether it was like confusion or overthinking, whatever it is, you really did spend a lot of time in Mother Nature just trying to really let that be absorbed for you. So I'm hearing like a lot of grounding may have taken place. But, out of that, like you you displayed a certain level of strength, not just to others, but to yourself. And, I think in this situation is with this infinity sign, there will always be moments that comes to test your level of strength in any given situation, right? And at times you may feel as though, you know, because it's new, it does bring about this level of uncertainty with how to deal with things. But you have already displayed to yourself that you are able to evolve as you go through things, right? And so, yes, certain experiences may be new for you, but give yourself the credit and really look at what you have went through to get to the point that you are at presently. Some of you would have had to gone through, a lot of ups and downs, doors being closed in your face, let down. Some of you may have been let off from a job, or some of you may have experienced just death in general. But you have to be able to acknowledge how powerful and the level of strength that you possess within yourself, right? That's just what I'm getting. You go through these things, and it's like what I'm hearing is you don't look like what you've been through. You go through so many things, but you still manage to come out even wiser, right? Look, Ace of Wands. Look at that. It's like a third eye type of energy that I'm getting is you wisen up with every lesson, right? You learn so much, you gain so much, and you're still this beautiful being, and a source of light for those that are around you who may be um close to you, and really seeing how it is that you go through certain tests and you come out even better than you were before. And so you have shown others around you a certain level of strength and endurance that you have cancers. Let me just do more cards. Yeah, because some of you may have had to look inward, really spend that quality time with yourself to look inward and really go into the darkness, right? It's like what I said, it's like going to the deeper depths of yourself. And this time of isolation would have facilitated that environment for you to do so, right? And so there has, look at the steps. It's like every step you took, you still made it to the top of the mountain, right? Certain parts may have been lit, others may have been dark, but at the end of the day, you still made it to the top. And so sometimes, yes, you kind of always may find yourself going back to the journey, but also I'm hearing stop nitpicking on every single detail of the journey and instead be present, right? What are you here to learn? What are you here to release? And so, but it's just like a change in mindset. Like, so sometimes you may experience something like a tower moment, or you may feel like it's a tower moment and it may feel bad, but not all tower moments are a bad thing, right? So you would, you know, and you're under the spotlight. You have people that are really looking up to you at this time. They're really watching you to see how you um, rebuild yourself, right? There's an audience for it. And so just remain authentic, remain genuine, always have integrity about what it is that you're doing, is what I'm hearing. And, you will attract your people, right? So I'm gonna pull one more card. I'm gonna pull one more card. Okay. Let's see what other. Sorry. What other messages? Hanged man. So what I can say, Cancers, is, but this is it's off. But with this, you can see that what I'm seeing, Cancers, rather, is that there has been, that's better, because it was a bit dark, it's a bit dark. But there has been, Cancers, a period of enlightenment. I'm hearing a trial and error, if you will, but within that, there was a period of enlightenment where things began to come clearer to you. It became clear to you that um, certain things took place for a reason, right? It's almost like I'm hearing the universe. Things are not happening to you; they're happening for you, and so there was an eye-opening sort of situation that made you then kind of readjust and reassess your person. And what I'm saying is that it has birthed within you this new way of thinking and being. And so it's like, even though that may have been a painful situation that you had to endure, full of rawness and edginess, and just, something that you may not have, what's the word that I'm looking for? Just something that was filled, emotion filled, for lack of better words, right? You walked away from the pain, but I'm also sensing that you are walking into a new mindset with this person walking to the light, right? So it's leaving behind those shadows. So you went down into the depths, into the shadow parts, and now you're walking out with a newfound perspective and outlook. You're not really sure how, where things will go, because she's walking. Is not really much in sight except the light. And it's really trusting in yourself to probably, get back to a place where you can at least be your best self first, right? And so, you know with that, I would say that there has been a seed planted in you to, adjust certain things about yourself, Cancer. I think that you may have gone through a moment that called for pause, and in that pause, you were better able to quiet the noise and really begin to attune to yourself. And so I'm definitely seeing a new way about you here, Cancers, all in all. For those of you who this resonates with, I'm definitely seeing a new way of being. Um, and so let me pull from this deck. I'm going to use this as just to clarify. There's some sensuality in there. So, it's really, for my Cancer um, queens, right? There are some of you that are, really becoming in touch with yourself. And so a lot of blockages are being cleared up, which would allow um, a pathway to be clear to experience new things, right? And so you may feel a lot more passionate about what it is that you're doing. You may just be more in touch with that feminine energy and ensuring that you're always creating and balancing things out. But it's definitely clarity that you have about yourself at this time, right? But you're still very eye on the prize, eye on the goal, right? Calming the waters, peaceful self-regulation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of you have gone through this whole self-assessment exercise with yourself. Some of you would have taken responsibility and accountability and really just doing the work to, um, fine tune yourself and elevate, right? Because it takes time. It's a process. It's not anything that can be rushed. It's going to take time. Let me just pull one more card here. Okay. That's innovation. So that's confirmation with, the being in tune with your feminine side and really creating things, being innovative, um, and really putting your efforts into it is what I'm hearing. So there you have it, Cancers. I hope this reading has been helpful. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.